Kia ora, konnichiwa. Hello and welcome to Many Voices, a world music podcast. Most of us know and love many English songs, but what about the songs of the world's other 6,000 plus languages? Every week, I ask a guest to share 7 non-English songs they want the rest of the world to know about from their own culture. I'm your host, Dr. Patrick Savage, author of the 2026 book, Comparative Musicology. Today, I'm delighted to welcome our guest, Mark Lenini Parselelo, to tell us about the music of his Maasai community in Kenya. Mark is a PhD candidate in ethnomusicology at Memorial University of Newfoundland in Canada. His dissertation is tentatively titled Creating the Nairobi Sound: Power, Precarity, and Resilience in the Lives of Migrant and Undocumented Refugee Musicians in Nairobi. I met Mark over a decade ago at a music conference in Shanghai, and over the years I've been blessed to collaborate with him on several projects understanding the relationships between song and speech in Maasai, Swahili, and many other languages around the world. Welcome, Mark.
Thank you.
All right, to start us off, just get straight into it. Can you sing your first song to us? A song that's most meaningful to you.
So I'll sing a song that my grandmother taught me when I was a kid. Siligi la yodede, Ainoru siligi o siligi la yodede, Ainoru siligi o siligi la yodede, Ainoru siligi o siligi la yodede, Ainoru siligi. So this is one of my favorite songs that my grandmother taught me. Talks about hope, and it's one of the songs that is always in my memory. I can never forget about it. Yeah.
Thanks so much. Well, so why is that particular song so special to you?
Uh, because hope is a big thing in my life. Personally, I love having hope in a better tomorrow, in a hope in good things that will happen, and having faith that there is a better tomorrow. So that's one of the things that my grandmother taught me, my parents taught me, and I still believe in hope. Yeah.
Thanks. I think we need that kind of message today more than ever. So thanks. We're going to get into some more songs from you later on, but first let's go back a little bit. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're born, what languages you speak, and how you learn them? For this is all about learning about songs from different languages. So we also know about how you came to learn these languages and who you are.
So my name, I was born in Kenya, in a and I grew up learning how to speak in English and Swahili, and Maasai is my mother tongue. So I don't speak it as good as my Swahili because I was used to Swahili and English in school, and that's those are the languages that I came to get used to growing up in Kenya.
And so the song you sang to us just now, that was in the Maasai language, right?
Yeah, that was in the Maasai language. Yes.
So how did you learn that song?
So I learned it from my grandmother, as I said before. I learned it by listening and repeating. And every holiday, because we have a different calendar compared to what I'm doing now in school in the West. Our calendar starts in January and ends at the end of the year in December. So we have 3 terms, and in April and August and December we used to have holidays, and then I would go and spend time with my grandmother, and those are the times that I learned to sing and to listen uh, and learn from her.
Mm. Thanks. I'm looking forward to visiting with my family next year in Kenya. So next up, can you tell us a little about your life now? So where do you live now? What does a normal day in your life look like?
So right now I live in Canada, in the east of Canada. The most eastern point, we'll say St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador. That's a province in the in the marine Atlantic region. And I go to Memorial University, where I'm on the final bits of my PhD in ethnomusicology. So my day looks like I start with more schoolwork, and I do some errands and take my son to daycare, and do some work, and then do some more schoolwork, and later on, it depends if it's during the week or in the weekend. I do some music with friends, and spend time with family. So my day is mostly um, is mostly depending on the season, because if it's winter, we have a more uh, I would say a more defined winter where we have storms, and so it depends. With if it's in the summer, then we'll be out and about, but in the winter, I keep indoors most of the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember living in Canada. The winter is yeah, you gotta stay inside, stay warm. Cool. Let's get on to some more music.
Mhm.
So can you share with us, a recording that's your favorite example of the most traditional music from your culture? So, for those listeners who don't know, the website Mark was just showing is called the Global Jukebox. And it's a free resource you can access if you go to theglobaljukebox.org. And this is a resource that I helped to work on a little bit, but it was really started, began over half a century ago by Alan Lomax and carried on by his daughter, Anna Lomax Wood. And it's got thousands of songs from all over the world, from more than 1,000 different societies. It has the music, it has the metadata, but who's making it, where was it recorded. It also has some sort of scientific data, classifications of the singing style. Are they singing, unison or polyphony? Are there instruments? What's the rhythm? What's the singing style like? So it's a great resource. I encourage you all to go and check it out. Listen to some more beautiful music like the example that Mark just played.
So the song is about the Morans are singing about going for a cattle raid, and it's not being sung at their particular home in the homestead or where they do it. I chose it because I love the rhythm, like how the basses come in and they do the chants, uh, and the top layer of the lead vocalist going and talking about um, the cattle rustling and cattle raids, and what happens, but how they emerge is what you would find now at in the when the Morans sing, or when they chant. But it's a very old recording of how it used to sound then. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. So, I mean, our listeners can only hear the music, but I remember, the videos that you took of contemporary Moran, the warriors singing this style, and the way they kind of do they kind of mix in together, is very cool. Can you explain a little bit how does that work? How do these different like kind of background parts fit together? Is there kind of a special meaning in the rhythm and the way those voice parts kind of fit together underneath the higher sort of lead singer?
There's it's polyphonic and done by the male voice. So there's a group or few who do one part that's repetitive, and another one does another part that is repetitive. So it's they weave together. I I don't really know if there is meaning to it. I wouldn't say that. Sorry. Oh, uh, sorry.
No problem.
So to answer your question, I I don't know if there's meaning to it, but it's something to find out.
Mm,
There's meaning to it, but usually it's from from what I've analyzed, it's three parts,
mm,
interwoven, and then there's a top voice which is more high pitched.
mm.
But they could be
Cool.
more depending on the different kinds of chants that are done.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now moving from the very traditional old recordings, can you share with us an example of your favorite contemporary music from your culture?
Just one moment.
Hey, Singolio sidai mulingo mumi akolongya jebayana Oloirore ngoba saini neshurwa meralengenda menolong Barugu samarara ngibane Maino yage gilagi zengenda Wasirwa sidai yobore robili Neshe warmai neshe valelaria Lebolo geberne bugo mayana Nesha wenga molana mayana Wasirwa sidai yobore
Very cool. Can you tell us a little bit about what was going on and why you like this one so much?
So it's talking about a ceremony. It's a happy day, and he puts in a couple of proverbs about what Maasai proverbs say, and it's just a celebration, saying it's a happy day. Um, it's a big day, and why I like it is I like the beat, which is uh, picked up from, I would say, Chakacha, which is a coastal rhythm. Um, and then they put in the chant when they sing. Uh, so it makes me feel like dancing. So yeah, and
Yeah,
also the
me
message.
too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, even though I don't know the language, it just
Yeah,
feels very happy, feels makes you want to dance along.
yeah, and it's a recent tune, and I went to the comments just to see what people were saying, and somebody was like, "Oh, I'm not Maasai, but I came here from TikTok to look at this song." Yeah, so it's a really cool creation, I would say. Yeah, I love it
Mm,
because it's a happy piece.
yeah. So it looks to me, I think most people who have heard of the Maasai think they're quite famous for the sort of jumping dance, um, and the beautiful costumes. And it looked to me like that video, they were doing that sort of jumping dance that is traditionally done. Can you tell us a little bit about that dance?
Yeah, so the most popular dance will be Adamu dance, which is a jumping dance, and you can find it in if you tour Kenya or Tanzania, you'll find Maasais at the tourist areas performing it or in ceremonies performing it. It's mostly done by the warriors, the Morans, and uh, and and there's no instrumentation or any type of um, let's say drums or shakers. It's only the chants, the what we're just talking about, the male voices in polyphony, and then there's a lead vocalist. and they come to the center and jump and see who can jump highest. So there's a lot of interpretation on what that is, or what it means. But it's more of a Moran dance, and the mostly found during ceremonies and happy moments. You'll find that kind of jumping dance.
Thanks. So you've used that word Moran a couple times. I think it means warrior, loosely translated, but can you tell us? I think it's quite important in Maasai culture. Can you explain what it is to be a Moran?
So Morans are warriors of the community. They have been charged with ensuring the community is secure and the safety of the community. So they take care of the security of the community, and they are made up of young men who have just turned from boys into young men. Uh, yeah.
Thank you. All right. So I think, like we were saying, that song makes both of us feel pretty happy and want to dance. But one of the other questions that we ask our guests are also about, specific songs that make you the happiest. So do you have a different song that you want to share with us that makes you feel the happiest?
Yeah. So I'll just pull it up.
Haters wanashangilia kwa ndani, umewawinga oh. Sina kingine mimi najivunia zaidi yako Baba, ndio maana niko tuli nimetulia, wewe unagabaya. Hata wale wananionea usuda, shabaha yao mbaya. Watapataje mwamba umenifunika, ure watataya. 'Cause I know that you got me where you got me. You got me where you got me, Papa. You got me.
Thank you. So can you tell us, what was that song about? Why does it make you so happy?
It makes me happy. As I said, it talks about God's got my back. Whatever I'm doing today or doing tomorrow, I know that God's got my back. So that it makes me happy because I know there's someone that I can trust, that they've got my back. Yeah, which is God. Yeah.
Thank you. And what's the name of that song? Who's that by?
Yeah. So the song is Oludumare by Joel Wager. He's a Tanzanian artist.
Thank you. Great. Well, let's get right into the next music. So that was your sort of song that makes you happiest. How about a song that makes you want to dance the most? Can you share that? Okay, I can see why that would make you want to dance for sure.
Yeah. So that's it's called Amini by Alice Kimanzi and Victor Maestro. So this is more of a Congolese Kenyan hybrid mix. And has the part that I played is like the climax, which is the seventh. For everyone who knows me, I love the Congolese seven part a lot. The drums, the bass makes you just want to move. Yeah.
Very cool. I wish I could join in. It looks like fun. So is this one, I know you say speak Swahili and some Maasai in English. Was that one in Swahili or some other language?
So that's in Swahili and Lingala.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I don't speak Lingala. I just know a few words, but it interests me. Like I love the music. Yeah.
Thanks. And then I think the last song that I wanted to ask you to share. So if we wanted to have a song to get people to bond together in your culture, what would be the best to do that?
It's not from my ethnic community, but it's a song that you wouldn't miss in any celebration. It brings people together. It's from our Western community in Kenya, the Luya community. So just
Mwana wa Meri bayaye,
Mwana wa Meri, Mwana wa Meri mishe oyero.
oh mwana wa Meri bayaye wo,
Mwana wa Meri,
oh yewe,
Mwana wa Meri mishe oyero.
oh mwana wa Meri bayaye.
it's repetitive. It's the same, and they just change the verse, and it's a call and response. But you'll find people coming and dancing, talking about the first. It's a happy mood song that brings people together, and you'll find it in weddings, and people go around in like a train and go. And there's a couple of songs that go with it from different communities, so it brings people together. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, beautiful. And that's a good segue into one of my other questions. So, I'm very interested in the work of Alan Lomax, who had big ideas about all the world's music and the big histories and families. So he talked a lot about the sort of style that had this very, call and response, sort of harmonized singing, that was common, he said, throughout Africa, and many other places. How do you feel? Do you think that sort of your culture is part of a broader Pan-African sort of singing community, or how do you feel about that idea of a sort of a Pan-African call and response style?
Call and response is common in most African south of Sahara. There is most singing and communal singing. You have a lead and a response. Yes, but in terms of harmony, is different. It is different depending on the community, because they're different. Like when you hear Maasai, they sound a little different and unique from, let's say, the Western Kenya Luya, or if you go down to South Africa, it's also different. So there's a uniqueness, but the structure and form of structure and of call and response is there. Yeah, you can't miss it.
Well, what about, so, this is one of Lomax's other musical regions that he talked about is what he called the African gatherer style, which maybe is more, he talks about music of the so-called pygmies in Central Africa, the Mbuti and Aka, also the Johansi, then South Africa, and this kind of Hocketing multi-part style, which maybe matches what we heard in the sort of the traditional example from the Maroons in your first one, and maybe it's found in other places around the world, not just in Africa, like maybe Ainu, Hocket. Do you see a connection there in the music of traditional music of the Maasai?
I cannot really say if there's a connection because I have to analyze what Lomax says and review what is collected from the Maasai, of what I've also recorded, and see if there's any similarities or disparities in what Lomax says. But what I can say is that there's a unique idiom of singing among the Maasai that you would tell from just listening to it without look or seeing them. But you'll find, like when I was working with Dinka during my master's, I could see that dancing is also a jumping dance, but it's a different kind of jumping dance compared to what we do as Maasais. So there are similarities, but they might be a little or more different. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so just maybe some bigger questions to finish off, and we've listened to all your music. So we talked about these big regional or global patterns, but what about, why do you think that we make music? Why do you think humans, either your people or humans in general, what is it about music that makes us want to do it?
I think what we make music because we need it in life. It makes our life fluid, like easy to go through. Like in the morning when you wake up, you hear alarm. Like a world with no music, then all the activities that we go through during the day might not work out the same. So it's like the oil in the machine of the day, like how these moving parts in the world. So it's an important component of association, appreciation. For example, I played some Lingala music that has Lingala language, but I really don't speak Lingala, but I enjoy the music, and that makes me endear the Congolese, and when I listen to Burundian music, I learn more about their culture. So it brings us together to understand each other, because music is intertwined in the lives of people, and to understand people, then one doorway would be music. So with that long answer, I would say music is we do music as a response, or as a response to our day, our lives, and also as an expression to share what we feel inside and what we believe in.
Mm, thanks. I like that metaphor of the music as the oil in the machine of our day that gets us through. You talked a little bit about the language and not knowing the language of making the music. So it makes me wonder, what do you think about this idea of music as a universal language? Do you think it is or not? And why do you think so?
I think it is, and my research about migrant musicians working in Nairobi, some of them came into Nairobi uh, uh, without knowing the language, but music made them be able to settle and work there. So it's a language that you can go through, and it's a universal language, yes, but also more than a universal language, it's a tool that can be used to go through many things. So I agree, it's a universal language, but it's not just a universal language. It's a tool that can be fashioned to take care of certain life problems. Yeah.
Mm. And then speaking of you mentioned your dissertation research. Could
Yeah.
you maybe share for us? Uh, I know it's you've been spending a lot of time and many years. It's complicated, but if you could boil it down to a single message for our listeners in, a few seconds, what would the main message of your research be?
My research is the making of the Nairobi Sound, and how migrant musicians who come from Kenya work with Kenyans to make this popular music sound in Nairobi. Um, and it's very interesting, not only to me, but when it comes out, maybe you can read about it. Has some good stories about uh, playing in Nairobi, performances in Nairobi, and how music and the issues that migrant musicians go through. So it's something to look forward to. That's a very long line.
I'm looking forward to reading it and seeing you become Dr. Mark Lenini. Very before too long, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Okay, and just a couple final questions. So if you had to choose just one of these 7 songs that you shared today to kind of represent your community to the world, which one would it be?
Oh, that's a very hard question. But I will choose my first song that I sang, Hope. Osiligi, that's maybe because it's not just because it was sung by I learned it from my grandmother, but it represents not only my people, my family, or my community, the Maasai. It's in the language, but it's also the message in it. So I would choose that, but I would also choose the other ones to accompany it. It's hard to say one. It's really hard. I would say it's very hard to choose one to represent everything, because it needs all these other ones and many more that I didn't choose.
I understand, yeah. And I also understand that something very powerful about the music that was passed on to you by your own ancestors, your own, relatives. So very special. Thank you. Okay, and then final question before we leave. What's one thing, important thing that you want the world to know about your people and their music?
Maasai people are welcoming, and their music will make you want to join in and dance. And when you have a chance, visit and perform. You don't have even to visit. You can watch it online and see how fun it is, and you can try to jump as high as you can. It can be a good activity for you and your friends and family. So yeah, and also Swahili music is also really cool, beautiful. Yeah.
Thanks. I'm really excited to visit in Kenya in next year, my first time, and bring my family. And I'm 40 now, but I'm still playing basketball. I can't jump as high as I used to. I'm probably not going to win the jumping competitions, but I'll keep practicing. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark. It's been a pleasure having you on the podcast today.
Thank you too for the invitation.
Thanks for listening to Many Voices, a world music podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Patrick Savage. Please visit many-voices.com, where you can like and subscribe to watch full video of this and more episodes at your favorite podcast provider. And remember, keep the whole world singing.